So it's been launched in at USP, where Epeli worked, and there'll be a launch in Tonga as well. There'll be a launch at ANU, launch in Hawaii, and this is the launch here in New Zealand. So it'll be launched everywhere, because Epeli, in his work, he tried to redefine the Pacific, the Sea of Islands. Instead of small islands dotted around the Pacific, he tried to define it as the ocean continent. So we have to be defined not in terms of how small the islands are, but in terms of how big the ocean is. Since it's Epeli's book, we have to respect his spirit, which is there somewhere. In fact, in one of the articles in the book, it says that Epeli is neither in heaven or hell, because he believed in none of those. He's somewhere in the cosmos, perhaps together with Tangaroa, sipping red wine. Yeah. So that was the kind of character he was. He was very unconventional. He thought outside the box, and he was able to inspire people with his humor. And the color of the book is brown. Those of you who have seen him in person, he wore exactly the same sulu, the same brown sulu every day for months and years. And I asked him one day, Epeli, how many of those sulus do you have? Oh, I have 15. I would like to call upon Choi, a good friend of Epeli, to launch the book for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, I regard this one of the most special moments of my life, because this just happens to be the second time I'm at the launch of this book. The first time was at the IPS, Institute of Pacific Studies at the University of the South Pacific earlier this year, but I was kind of a fly in the wall. But to be here today and to do this, I'm really grateful. Epeli was a dear friend to all of us. As we were joining as junior members of staff, Epeli was already, I think, one of the senior most academics at the USP at the time. But he's so unique in many ways. As Steve said, he'd wear his sulu and his pipe, causing pollution all over the campus. But a very emotive card player. At that time, a lot of us young fellows don't have money for lunch, so we used to pass our lunchtime playing trump, the cards at the staff room. One time, I think he lost. He's a very bad loser. He lost. I was that day I saw the side of Epeli, never saw before, but I think the girls were making fun of him. He stood up, kicked the table that we were in, and walked out of the room. The next day, Epeli was back, ready for another round of games. One of the first things I ever wrote for publication was in his letters, or he wrote a short book, and then he invited the rest of us to comment on it. And I think, if I remember correctly, I may be the only one who opposed his idea that we should think big, as Professor Otuba was saying. I said, how can we think big? We already live in small islands and all this. This guy is dreaming. He rounded me up after one of those cards game. After that, I was quite reluctant to meet him. But he said, thank you very much. And I've always kept that as a guide of what we as academics need to accept and to use that our writings may not really be agreed to by everyone. But today, I must say that Epeli is a much deeper thinker than I can ever will be, because he's shaped the way the region thinks, the region acts, because of his ideas. And with those thoughts, I'd like to say that to prove the point I was making, read through this book, because there were writers from all over the world. And apparently a lot of them volunteered to, or they asked the people organizing the thing to be included. So that was the man Epeli was. Pacific Islander at heart, and very talented, but down to earth like Pacific Islanders always are. Thank you very much. With those words, it's a pleasure to launch this very special collection of articles on the life and accomplishments of Professor Epeli Hauʻofa.